from skyscrapers to cigarette butts and everything in between your plastic cup and your car and your phone and the walls around you and all the concrete in the world and all the roads and all the buildings, everything. All of that now, for the first time in history, weighs more than all of the biomass, all of the mass of all of the living things on planet Earth. Now, just kind of that's a good illustration to kind of, but just take that in for a second. Take that in and think about what that means. I mean, of course, the scientists here are talking about they're calling it the Anthropocene age or era or epoch, which is like a new geological kind of era that is characterized by man's dominant influence over the natural world, the natural environment. But it's not just mass, of course. It means that the impact of humanity on the planet is at a dramatic point of influence. See, they're measuring the amount of plastic, and they're measuring
Presenting facts.
yeah, and tons of graphs and beautiful statistics, beautiful scientific works. I love science.
Amazing arguments.
Great, but what is motivating the whole thing? What is driving the whole thing? It's just like the argument with there's a lot of techno philosophers saying very interesting things about how we create technology, but then technology create us, and it's true to a great extent. We change our environment changes us. There's a feedback loop and all that. But what is the driving force, I ask you? What is the motivation? And that's what I'm trying to point to.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
kidding. The curve, that hockey stick curve, Chris, can you see it? Show it again. That exponential curve that we're seeing in everything has to tell us that it's not just technology that is developing exponentially. It's not just the digital cyberspace that is developing exponentially. It's not just human consumption. It's not just human production. It's not just human-made mass. It's not just human population. It is human desire. That's what we don't see with our eyes and our five senses, and that is the very thing that motivates us, the force behind all of our actions, thoughts, reflections, and relationships. Our desire is growing, and what it's trying to do is find fulfillment. Now, in that context, are we gonna hit a wall? Let's try to answer the question from this perspective. Is our growing desire for fulfillment, is it gonna hit a wall?
No. The answer to that question is emphatically no. Our desire for fulfillment is the whole essence of life.
Whatever it is we're doing, we're following our desire. First of all, that's we're just the desire is growing behind the scenes. It's activating the show. It sets up all these puppets that are doing things that are called human beings. Us included, everyone else included. But the question is, how do we, whatever it is we've done so far, we didn't manage to actually fulfill the desire. We're always just creating those flashes of light, like you said, and we can't sustain it. We can't sustain fulfillment. We can't just be satisfied, be fulfilled, be full.
That's what it is. It's these desires that are developing inside of us. I didn't know that I needed that kind of cookie. I need that cookie. I didn't know that I wanted that taco made out of Doritos. I was going to have these desires.
And it never ends too. It never ends. So it used to be that you go to get a coffee, like at Starbucks or whatever it is. Now it's like, give me the pumpkin filled with donut that will take all of the depressive thoughts out of my head.
And it works. And it actually works for about 30, 40 minutes. It works.
Look at films in, a century ago and look at it today. Look at games, computer games or whatever, 40 years ago from when they started, 50 years ago, and look at them today. I'm not just talking about the graphic quality, I'm talking about the standards. We need to shock ourselves. So we need more violence, we need more sex, we need more profanity, we need more explosions, we need everything to be stronger, more shocking, right in our face. And there's an exponential curve there as well. So why is that? Because we have to find a way to fulfill that desire, to calm down that desire. Now, help me here. Calm down is not a good way of saying it. We're not saying, I don't want to say that we should suppress ourselves. And I saw some things in the chat talking about, should we maybe move to minimalism? There's this new movement that recognizes that we're completely in resource overshoot in the planet and everything, and we should try to live a more minimalist life. And of course, it's coming from a good place, but again, it fails to recognize that this desire is driving the show. It's motivating the human beings. And therefore, even if for a while, at some part of the population, we can, find fulfillment in some trends like minimalism, at the end of the day, you're dealing with a desire that keeps growing and you're going to have to fulfill it in one way or another. So the issue at hand is not how can we curb and restrict and repress that desire, but rather how do we actually fulfill and increasingly, continuously, repetitiously, I don't know, continuously growing desire. Couldn't come up with a better word.
The basis of the whole of our whole story is just to receive pleasure. I mean, that's what drives our entire life, is just pleasure.
If you wanna really accurately define what is going on, it's the exponential growth of the human ego. And that's why you have all sorts of phenomena that are taking place in 2020. You will see all kinds of ways in which people are trying to deal with that ego, to fulfill that growing, relentless need to fulfill ourselves. And that's why, but because we can't do it in any way we keep on trying in new and weirder ways. And it's not just that, however. It's not just that this growth of the ego is not just pushing us to reach fulfillment. There is a very duality that is happening right now in mankind, in human beings. It's a very paradoxical reality. On the one hand, we want more. We want more pleasure. We need more. Nothing fulfills us, like before. On the other hand, we are also losing hope that something in the future will actually fulfill us. There is a certain kind of latent, subconscious, gradually surfacing recognition that we are hitting this wall, that we're moving towards a point. The youth, the people the children who are growing up today, a lot of them are not so eager to go and conquer the world and get great jobs and be successful in the workforce and make a lot of money. A lot of them just want to chill. They just want to chillax. They just want to Netflix and chill. They just want, to get something to drink, something to smoke, something to watch, and just, be done with it, kind of thing. There's this, but this is actually, it's a very, I'm not dissing that at all. I think it's a very mature view that is now developing in people.
Why waste my time on all that if
yes,
it's not going to leave me empty at the
exactly.
end of the day?
Look,
I'm going to finally be 65, 70 years old, I'm going to work my entire life, and then I'm going to retire to do what?
Exactly. Look, even my son, my almost 9-year-old, that's all. He's already,
he's already done.
He's already asking things that make you think like no motivation. Like where, but clearly it's not a problem of motivation. This is a motivated kid. If he's in a game, he'll play a game and all that. But you see big questions about like why, why people do that, why should I do that, do I also need to do that when I grow up, like, you know and it's like it's a very different generation that is now growing, and it's a very different kind of human desire that is now cooking. So it wants the greatest pleasure, but it also recognizes that that it's not in here, it's not on this level.